Hi, welcome to Pam vs. Psych Show.
In this episode, we're going to be reviewing 5 important psych concepts you need to know for the exam. Let's begin! My name is Chris, and I'm motivated by intrinsic motivation, which means I am motivated by internal rewards and do things because I find them naturally satisfying. I read because I like to read, and I think I can gain a lot of knowledge from doing so. I read whenever I can, just for fun. Those were some good reads. To remember intrinsic motivation, think intrinsic, inside factors motivating.
I'm Pamela, and I'm motivated by extrinsic motivation, which means I'm motivated by external factors such as money, fame, grades, and praise. I'm getting paid $5 every time I read a book. Now let's go get those rewards. Okay, I read 5 books. Give me that money.
To remember extrinsic motivation, think extrinsic, exterior factors motivating. Oh yes, I need some help with this. Please help me.
Bro, that is my girl right there. What is he doing with her? Stop on her. I'm just gonna beat her. Like, what were they talking about? I swear to God, they were just flirting right now.
When Pam sees somebody talking to the girl of her dreams, her sympathetic nervous system is activated, which is the part of the autonomic nervous system that activates the fight or flight response. To remember the sympathetic nervous system, you can connect it with the word sympathy, which is when you are aroused by your emotion.
Oh, Chris? It was just homework. Like, why?
So she's just like a friend or
Yeah,
like...
actually, I don't even think friends. Mostly classmates.
Just classmates, like...
Yeah.
So that's just it. Y'all just talking about homework?
Yeah, she had a question on the reading that we had to do. So.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
When Pam realizes that her competition is not really competition, her parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which is the part of the autonomic nervous system that calms her down. To remember parasympathetic, you can think para nada, which means it was all for nothing, so she calms down. When Chris plays a piano piece from memory, she is using implicit memory because she is not consciously recollecting how to play the piano. To remember implicit memory, you can think implicit begins with I. It means indirectly remembering how to do something. So, Pam, what did you do last night?
Last night, I was at my friend's house. We partied last night. But no, we were...
As Pam describes what she did last night, she is using explicit memory because she is consciously recollecting the facts and experiences of the previous night. To help you remember explicit memory, you can think explicit, making an effort to remember exactly what you did. Solving this novel math problem, we can see that Chris is better than Pam in fluid intelligence, which is the capacity to think logically and solve problems in novel situations independent of acquired knowledge, and is typically better the younger you are. To remember fluid intelligence, you can think fluid and flexible both start with F, so fluid intelligence is when your brain is flexible.
So tell me all the facts that you know.
Yeah. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12th, 1809? Did you know that, did you know that,
Actually, did you know that the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland? Did you know that bees can sting other bees? And also, did you know that there's a place in Central Africa that gives birth to the most twins in the world?
As you can see in the previous clip, Pam is better than Chris in crystallized intelligence, which is the accumulation of knowledge, facts, and skills that are acquired throughout life and is greater the older you are. To remember crystallized intelligence, you can think that crystals take thousands of years to form, and similarly, crystallized intelligence also takes a long time to form. Sensorimotor stage is when the child is between 0 and 2 years old, and the definition of the sensorimotor stage is actually in the name of the sensorimotor stage. It is the coordination of senses with motor response, and the child has sensory curiosity about the world. Object permanence is also developed in this stage, and object permanence is the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they cannot be perceived. Here we can see Pam before the sensorimotor stage, when object permanence has not been developed yet, and she does not know where the sheet is when it's hidden. But after sensory, when the sensorimotor stage is in action, she has developed object permanence, and even when the object is hidden, she knows that it is still there. The pre-operational stage is from 2 to 7 years, and it is when the child has developed symbolic thinking as well as the use of proper syntax and grammar to express full concepts. Imagination and intuition are strong, but complex abstract thought is still difficult.
What are those things, Pam?
Here we can see that before Pamela has reached the pre-operational stage, she can't use her words to express what she sees. But after she reaches the pre-operational stage, she now can use language to point and express the things that she sees, and that is symbolic representation. To remember the pre-operational stage, you can think pre-op. It's like before a big operation. And this is when you develop language, and language is what you need to move on to larger operations such as abstract things.
Hello everyone. Today's science experiment, we can see that this is 100 milliliters, and this is also 100 milliliters. Now let's see what happens when we give them to Pamela. Pamela, which one has more water?
This one. This one has the most water in it. This one. This is some sick joke. This one has the most, this one has the least. That's all I have to say.
The concrete operational stage is the stage from 7 to 11 years, and it is characterized by the development of organized and rational thinking. It is considered a turning point in the child's cognitive development because it marks the beginning of logical or operational thought. Conservation is also developed during this period, and conservation refers to the logic thinking ability that allows a person to determine that a certain quantity will remain the same despite adjustment of the container shape or apparent size. As we can see in the previous clip, before Pam has reached concrete operational, she is not able to discern conservation.
Pamela, which one has more water?
They both have the same amount of water. This one's 100 milliliters and this one's 100 milliliters. They may look different, but they're actually the same amount of water. You're trying to trick me.
Once in the concrete operational stage, Pam now understands conservation. To remember the concrete operational stage, you can think that concrete is a hard, solid matter, just like how our grasp of the situation is set in stone in the concrete operational stage.
Pam, please solve this problem for me.
This?
Yes.
What the heck? Like, what the heck? What problem? I don't know any of these. My goodness.
The formal operational stage begins
Pam,
at age 12 and lasts into adulthood. Adolescents gain the ability to think in an abstract manner by manipulating ideas in their head without any dependence on concrete manipulation. They can do mathematical calculations, think creatively, use abstract reasoning, and imagine the outcome of particular actions. To remember the formal operational stage, you can think that formal and foiling both start with FO. So when you think of formal operational, you can think of the foiling that you're able to do in algebra, and remember that you can do abstract thinking in the formal operational stage.
Genius! That is correct.
Now we learned 5 concepts in psychology to help you ace that AP.
Tune in next time for 5 more new concepts.
Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we're not done yet. I messed up.
That's okay, I can cut it.
Okay. Should I be flirting or not? Okay, retake. Did you know,
Actually, she don't know anything. Did you know that the healthiest city in the world is bees that
bees can sting other bees?
okay, let me pause.
Oh, ow! My knee!
Should I stop it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's my girl! No, why are you
Yes! Okay?
Okay, I'm already filming.